This is the basketball relativity theory. Let's start where I started. I was wasting some time on Twitter the other day and I noticed some folks' top 10 lists of all time, and of course a few of them included some old-timers, like Bill Russell and Moses Malone. And as the story goes, the seemingly scripted replies started pouring in, including this one, something about players sucked back then. They couldn't compare to players today. It's logical, kind of, but it's an oddly simple way to look at an impossible storyline. Really, if you wanted to compare talent, what are you going to do? We don't have time travel, and even if we did, where do they play? You gotta find some sort of neutral ground. And what is neutral ground? How do you make the game fair? What rules are they playing by? To me, the reason you can argue Bill and Oscar versus Russell and LeBron, or whoever the actual top 10 is to say, okay, what if Bill Russell, the person with the exact Bill Russell DNA, born to the exact Bill Russell parents, was born in 1996? Would that person with the same intellect, the same work ethic, the same physical gifts, the same team-first attitude, would that guy learning modern basketball from day one, would he make it? Would he have been Tim Duncan? Would he have been Ben Wallace? Conversely, if you took, Kyrie, and moved his story to the 50s, born abroad, born to two D1 college basketball playing parents, upper middle class, good school with access to the best 50s style training. If you took him and all his attention to detail and every ounce of his dribbling obsession, would he have made it? Would he have been the original Pistol Pete, or a player John Havlicek looked up to? And back to Bill. If you think a 6'10", super smart, athletic, defensive-minded player with all the high-tech advanced sensory training and coaching in his future, if you think he can become an NBA star and potentially lead his team to multiple championships, then he is an all-time great. Because here's what you need to assume. If Bill, in Bill's time, reached his maximum basketball potential, if he was in the top 1 percentile of speed, leaping ability, and basketball IQ, then we must give that person the benefit of the doubt and afford them the same potential in our modern era. Listen, we're not saying would George Mikan be an all-star in 1998. We're talking about the premier athlete of an age, with keen timing and a chess player's mind. We have to assume he would do that in any era. A leader is a leader. A born athlete is a born athlete. Really, anyone saying you shouldn't put Bill Russell or any old player in your top 10, it's like saying you shouldn't put Newton or Einstein in the top 10 smartest people of all time. It's like looking down on the achievements of Galileo or Magellan, simply because today, a 5-year-old can discover the same universe they did. If you take a sharp, curious, innovative mind and drop them in any era, then you will have yourself a sharp, curious, innovative person to reckon with. And to go one step further, I'd argue Bill Russell was more resilient than almost any of today's players. Not saying they couldn't have been, but it's just the record. The stuff he had to go through and process in order to remain on that court in that time and in the good graces of society, justice, and success, that took a lot of fight and strategy. You take that mind, that resilience, and that day one athleticism and drop him in against this guy and this brilliant man, I believe this is what an all-time great might look like. Mind you, that's the kind of player other stars want to play with, so factor that in. Whatever team he's on, there's a good chance KD or LeBron or somebody else would choose to go there and play with him at some point. An unselfish force. Anyway, all that is 100% an exercise in storytelling. Which stories are you trying to tell when you put your list together? This is the basketball relativity theory.